Redouane Mama Put.
Oh, I enjoy it. I'm glad you like it. Hi guys, Liz here from the Mix and Bowl Homestead. Today I'm going to be making assorted beef stew. Now something good must have happened because he called me from work and says make my mama put. So when he says make my mama put, I know that he means assorted beef stew. Here are the ingredients. So we're going to be using cow foot, cow skin, goat meat, and beef cubes, 3 red bell peppers, 2 tomatoes, 2 onions, 3 habanero peppers, garlic paste, and ginger paste. We're also going to be using beef bouillon powder, crayfish, some salt, some canned stewed tomatoes. I have some plain beef stock just in case my meat doesn't create enough stock. Also have some thyme, paprika, curry powder, tomato paste, nutmeg, and bay leaves, and some water. And we also need to use a whole lot of palm oil. Now, I've learned this by watching him to make his mama put stew. So, you know, I'll try to kind of sort of eyeball what the measurements will be. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is going to be powdered my crayfish. Now for this, maybe 4 tablespoons. Okay, this is good enough. I'm going to go ahead and grab my nutmeg. Don't slice your fingers. That should be enough. Now these meats have 2 different types of cooking times. So I'm going to go ahead and add my cow foot and my cow skin, 1/4 teaspoon of thyme, 2 bay leaves, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, some ginger paste, about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic paste, 1 teaspoon of Knorr seasoning, 1 cup of water. I'm going to put this on number 5 on this fareware, which will be steak and meat. So I'm going to move it to number 5 and just hit the timer, and that will cook on its own. Okay, you guys, so we finished chopping all of the vegetables. So I'm going to go ahead and add my meat and the goat meat. Then we're going to add some seasonings, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of curry powder. I'm going to add about maybe 2 teaspoons of the bouillon Knorr seasoning, 2 small bay leaves, and about 1 teaspoon of thyme. We're going to mix all this together. And remember that we had 2 onions, so I reserved half of 1 onion, and that's what I'm adding here to this meat. The other half onion and a half, I slice it, and we're going to reserve this for later. Okay, so we're going to turn this to medium heat and allow it to release its own juices. While our meat is cooking, we're going to go ahead and habanero, the peppers, and the tomatoes. Usually we make this with fresh tomatoes, you guys, but I only have a few. The rest of the tomatoes, they're all frozen because I'm turning them into different sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my freshly canned diced tomatoes. If you want to see that recipe, I will place it above. I will link it above. Okay, so I'm now adding my bell peppers. Oops. Okay, so our tomato puree is ready, and we are now going to check on our meats. Okay, so this the goat meat and the beef has been cooking for about 7 minutes. So at this point, what I'm going to do is add a teaspoon of ginger paste and a teaspoon of garlic paste. And I'm going to allow this to cook for another maybe 2-3 minutes. Okay, so now my husband says that when we're blanching our palm oil, we have to cover it and let it stay there. I'll have all the windows open. We're not going to do anything else to it until it has changed from that red bright color or of kind of sort of like brownish vegetable oil color. All right, so I'll bring you guys back once we get to that point. All right, guys, so the next step is to fry our meats. I'm going to be using my air fryer. And I'm just going to fry this for a few minutes just to get it a little bit brown. He likes his meat to be a little bit tough, so this helps in the process. And you guys, don't feel that you have to have all of this equipment to make this stew. It is not necessary. You can do all of this on your stovetop or even with your pot outside with some bricks and wood. I'm just using them because I can't be on my feet for too long. I get extremely exhausted. To speed up the process and I don't have to be on my feet too long. Okay, so our meat is ready. This is what it looks like. So just fried beef. Okay guys, so our oil has finished blanching and I want to show you what it looks like. I know this is not like the cooking video, but I want to show you the difference in between the palm oil, and it's usually like really red kind of sort of color, versus the one that we blanch. It's kind of sort of like an oil that's, you know, like a vegetable oil that you know, or like an olive oil color. You can still blanch it, bleach it. I think it might be bleach it. I think it says bleaching. So you can still bleach it a little bit more than this, but I'm tired, you guys. All right, this is taking me longer than think it should be taking. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get our stew started, and we just test run. And yes, our oil is hot enough to start frying our onions. Oops. We need to fry these onions really good. Okay, so our onions are done frying, and I'm going to be adding my home canned tomato paste, and I'll put in the link above the recipe for it. So I'm going to fry this just for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm now going to add the mixture that I got from the blended peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all in here. I just put it all in the sifter to remove some of the water because, like I said earlier, he does not like his too watery. Okay, so as you can see, let me see if I can bring it closer. Okay, as you can see, the oil has come to the surface, and that is my indication that this is ready for the next step. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add all of my meats and the rest of the seasonings. I'm adding my crayfish, my nutmeg, teaspoon of curry powder, 2 bay leaves, about a teaspoon of thyme. I'm going to mix this all together. I'm going to add the meats. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my beef stock. And this is the beef stock that came from all of the meats. And I'm going to allow this to simmer for maybe about 10-15 minutes. So I went ahead and reduced the heat to low, and I'm going to allow it to simmer for about 10 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and grab some eggs. He called me and he asked me if I added boiled eggs to it, and I completely forgot that he usually adds boiled eggs to his mama put stew. So I'm going to, I have them boiling already, and I'm going to go ahead and grab them, peel them, and then add them to the stew. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the eggs. And cover it again. 5 more minutes, you guys. All right, you guys. My husband's mama put assorted beef stew is ready. You'll have to wait for him to get home to let me know if it came out okay. But any of my Nigerian sisters watching out there, please let me know what I can do to improve. I'm always looking to learn anything that I can do to learn to cook my husband's food. You know, I'm happy, and you know, I welcome any type of advice you can give me when I'm making, you know, these Nigerian dishes. I'm gonna try to put more of, this is my first one, so I'm gonna be putting more out there so you guys can help me out, because I gotta keep my husband happy. All right, guys, so that is it. I'll bring you guys back when he's home and he has tasted this stew, and I hope he's happy with it. Okay, here it goes for the moment of truth.
This is good.
Do you need a bigger spoon?
I think we can make do with this. It's good. I like it. It's really great one mama put.
Oh, I enjoy it. I'm glad you like it.